blessings and peace, and welcome to the Ice Turner Experience. It's something you can't define, but you can only experience with me. One of the things that I enjoy doing is journaling my life and seeing the progress. Now, believe it or not, I've ended up journaling about 30 books. And I've had some friends tell me that I should do something with that, you know. It's just based on, my experiences and my professional life, as well as my personal life. But I've been writing pretty much, since I can remember. I used to write poetry, still do occasionally. I write music, write short stories, and I write introspection pieces. And I also enjoy, kicking it with y'all. Just coming on here and just letting my voice be heard. And I actually see great success with this already because, for my channel to be, at the size that it is, it carries a lot of weight, a lot of impact, a lot of influence. I've heard my talking points, even my style, imitated, but never duplicated. So in a lot of ways, I'm, your favorite content creator's favorite content creator to emulate, which is actually flattering. As they say, it's actually flattering. But at this point, it really doesn't matter. My life is, what it is. So I say I can run off of light. Because one thing is certain, you can't manufacture experiences. Everybody wants to be like the cool kid. But at the end of the day, there's only one GOAT. And it's yours truly. But not to go too far into that, just warming up my pipes and letting you know what it is. Because, just make it real simple for you. Everything has to do with, you and your mind. So if you're dealing with women, your life is in a place of scarcity. I'm not talking about as far as having quantity, but quality. That's a mere reflection of just who you are. Like if women are flaking on you, if women are ghosting on you, women are leaving you, they're cheating on you, if they're disrespectful towards you in any way, if they're hitting you with way more shit tests than necessary, if they're embarrassing you in public, if they're emasculating you in private, it is your fault. See, women are nothing more than just a reflection of who you are. They are the moon. They're reflecting your soul at the end of the day. They're the marker and the milestone of where you're at in your manhood and in your vocation. And the reason why you're failing is because it's a lack of self-awareness. a lack of maturity. That all ties in together. It's your lack of self-awareness and your lack of maturity. Because, even if you make the right assessment, right, or the right, what you would call it, the right vetting, anyone's able to follow the table of contents or the little talking points of how to vet. But if you're lacking self-awareness and mental maturity, you're going to miss a lot of things. You're going to have a lot of blind spots, and that's going to come back to haunt you. So you really don't need game per se. You need mental maturity. You need emotional maturity as well as self-awareness. I've mentioned this quite often, but it's necessary. This is what a teacher does. Because you have to teach the same thing in 1,000 different ways in order for the hearer to get it. It's the parable of the sower, as I said before. Now, I can teach you me, and I can teach you my experiences in a multitude of ways. I can give you the para concept to the concepts. I can give you the abstract. I can give you the principles. I can give you the trial and error. I can give you the dark side. I can give you the sunny side to the story. With no notes, with no pin, but I can sell you this pen because this pen is different from your dollar store pen. This is a Mont Blanc special edition gold pen. So what I mean by that, I'm different from your dollar store nigga trying to emulate me and my life to usurp a connection that was never signaled. There's no such thing as forced fellowship. But I'm gonna get a little bit further into this thing. Scripture of game, which is Eve, the Proverbs 31 woman, and the R.I.B, and the mind of the man have in common. It's a really good question because it's all one and the same. And I'm going to expound on it just a little bit. Might be a part 2, just follow me. And as far as the esoteric teaching, I like to give a special shout out to Eddie Fuse as one of the elite thinkers in that school of thought, as well as yours truly. In regards to the metaphysics and esoteric and the art of seduction, I can sit there and say that watch the throne at that point. It's one thing that I do is that I give credit when credit is deserved. Just as easy as I can call a man out on their bullshit, I can also give credit when credit is due. But I'm going to dig a little bit further into this, Not going to take up too much of your time. So, when we were children, under the mother's eye, the Christos, the wisdom, or mother wisdom, or the Proverbs 31 woman, she has the opportunity of fashioning our minds aright as that youthful experience matures and grows up into that I can recall to the mind, the good teaching that I received through genius and memory. You remember that part in the scriptures where it says to teach a child with wisdom in a way for when he grows, he won't depart from it. Yes. See, this woman is very careful to recommend herself to her husband's esteem and affection, to know his mind, and is willing that he have rule over her. His self-awareness or internal dialogue of self-accountability that is built up, that is edified, and that is admonished in him from his mother wisdom or his Proverbs 31 woman shows that she could be trusted, and he will leave such a wife to manage for him. He is happy in her, and she makes it her constant business to do right by him. Mother wisdom, the Proverbs 31 woman, the R.I.B, the mind. It's all one and the same. The benefits of that wisdom can do to heal the subconscious because it absorbs all manner of exposure in life. See, wisdom or mother wisdom as the feminine principle was with God before he laid the foundations of the earth or the frame of mind that was void. Then he spoke of light and life into that dark place and into that voidness. She is the one that takes pains in her duties and takes pleasures in them, as to study thyself, to show thyself approved unto God. She is careful to fill up time, never wastes it, so none will be lost. She rises up early on the east, becomes the reflection of that light, of that sun. She applies herself to business proper for her, and to her affairs she does what she does with all strength and power, and trifles not. Wisdom or mother wisdom, as the Proverbs 31 woman, is the wise words spoken by the wise woman as I am, to show and prove the knowledge of self and the existence of God through the existence of her man and his reflection as the Father, Allah. Arm, leg, arm, head. The original mind as the original man, as everything into the existence of life. She makes what she does turn to good account by prudent management. She provides well for her house. She lays up for her hereafter. She thinks of the future. She sees the forest through the trees. She looks well to the ways of her household, that she has So she obliges all in her duty as unto God, unto her husband or earthly master, to her children as to herself. So she does well to her sun and her stars, as she does unto herself, because she is the lover of treasures and truth, beauty, order, and wisdom, substance and sustenance. Follow me? Above all, she fears the Lord through the reverence of her man. See, beauty recommends nothing to God, or is it any proof of wisdom, or any proof of righteousness? But it has deceived many of males into what it is to choose your mate on. Looking for sizzle instead of substance. See, there's beauty, then there's attraction. And knowing the difference is significant. Follow me? But it is the fear of the Lord dwelling in her heart, or her conscious state, that is the beauty of her soul, reflecting her earthly master as a love that lasts forever. How do you agape me? That is the fruit manifested from the tree, the understanding of the knowledge of self, the wisdom of self, the awareness. She has the firmness to bear up under disappointments and crosses. She can deal with trial and tribulations, heartbreak, things going amiss. That's what wisdom in the mind is. This is what wisdom in your woman is. She shall reflect the comfort for when she matures in age and in seasoning, that she is neither idle or useless when youthful. That means she had the wisdom early on, and she went through the process of maturing and seasoning through it. She didn't waste her time on the cock carousel. You get what I mean? Because a lot of you guys, you look at the women that are on the cock carousel, but weren't you in the carousel with your mind? Didn't your mind go a-whoring into foolishness and trepidation? Think about it. She is a great company of fellowship. Her tree is good. Her fruit has good word, because there's life in that word. But she leaves it to her works to be praised. The Proverbs 31 woman, the spiritual mind, the R.I.B are all one and the same, as I said before. The first woman a man chooses, or his bottom woman, is exactly that. The anatomical woman, slipped through my words, right? It happens. Not perfect, but the message is just a reflection of that quality of man that he is. Remember what I said before, a woman is the milestone for where you're at. She is a reflection of your spirit, your conversation, and your manhood. You don't have to put them on ice or check them, because a woman of certain means and of substance and of wisdom and of intelligence and of maturity is not going to put herself in a position, especially if she has high interest in you. She knows she's not going to do anything to lose your interest. Just let that marinate for a second. Now, if you look at this reason, The reason why what is man's own is what is nearest and dearest to him, his rib, his rest in his belief, his Eve, his ego, vanity, and emotions. Which is his bone of his bone and flesh of his flesh. And the bone is from his chest. And the chest is symbolic to his love, his bride, his state of consciousness. Both his heart and lungs, which is his vitality. And the bone is the viller thing next to it. Jehovah said, shall satisfy the soul in drought and make thy bones alert, and thou shalt be like the watered garden. The water is symbolic to the fluidness of the state of mind, and the alertness is based on the self-awareness, wisdom. And the flow of that relationship will be in your reflection and in your interaction with your woman and in the interaction in your self-talk with yourself. That's what the Bible was referring to with in regards to treating your woman as you would treat yourself, or your prayers won't be answered. Because if the body is sick, that means the head is sick. What is the body? The body is the frame of mind. What is the head? The spiritual eye. Now, how do I see things? How do I see things that is fit? How do I see things that is exact? How do I see things that is right? How do I see things that is righteous or right standing? Another piece that pops out, where it says that you're like the Christ and the woman is the church, as far as the husband and the wife components. If you look at Adam and Eve, they both represent the left and right hemisphere of the consciousness of your mind, the yin and yang principle, the masculine and feminine principle. Ya, masculine, Wei, feminine. So what happened in that garden? He didn't check the serpent right in front of his left consciousness, where as though he had the intuitions, which was connected to God, and the emotions, but he wanted more. Because in his right hemisphere, right, or in his logic, his masculine principle, he allowed to happen. He allowed his emotions to be the guide in the moment because he wanted to be more. He got his wisdom tricked because he was actually God already. He was Atom. He was red. Flame. They were in the east, in the Garden of Eden. They were in the God place and in the God state, and he gave it up for a piece of fruit. Look at the punishment of man. You see it all around you. It's all about going back to the original mind. Now, if he would have saved himself, just like he would have saved Eve, right? Now, going back to your woman's behavior is a reflection of how you treat her, okay? Well, your behavior is a reflection of how you treat your mind, how How do you nurture your wisdom, or do you neglect it? Now, look at the poison. Look what happened to Adam, or Atom, in his punishment.